Howdy everybody, I am Voltsdev, and today I wanted to talk about why I personally love Godot. And yes, I know I'm calling it Godot. I know that a lot of people say Godot, but I have been saying that before, but because Godot, like Godot Game Engine, just, I don't know, it sounds better to me. I'm not saying that that's the best way to say it, like, you can say it however way you want to say it, like, say it how you want to say it, I'm going to say how I want to say it, so that's what I'm saying, Godot. Anyway, I want to talk about why I love the Godot Game Engine so much, compared to, like, game engines like Unity, Unreal Engine, and even G-Develop. And well, there's also another game engine that I have been sort of trying the waters out for it, and that is called Cave Engine. And if any of you have seen me trying out the Cave Engine, then just know that I'm still kind of trying it out. Like, I'm still trying to, looking places and, trying things out to see, like, how to do things the way that I want to do it and, like, what works best for me. But unfortunately, in its current state, as of when I'm recording this at least, it's not in the best position for me to fully grasp onto it. So that is why I'm keeping with the Godot Game Engine, and plus I have just become very familiar with the engine, and I have a fair amount of understanding for it. Like, I wouldn't say expert level understanding, but just decent amount of understanding for it that I'm actually able to make, like, something with it. Like, I feel confident enough to make something with it. The reason why I haven't made a lot with it, though, is mostly just down to, one, not having much time on my hands to be using the engine. Like, I allocate a lot of that time to, like, my other channel. And the other reason is just because, well, actually, no, the main reason is literally just I haven't really found much time to be using it. But the first reason why I absolutely love the Godot Game Engine is because of the integrated code editor. Right here, the script editor. And okay, got no scripts in there right now, but let's just create a random script and call it no2d, sure, why not? And, like, I love how it just throws you into the script editor. Now, for example, if I want to do, like, a print something, I can just do print, and it's right there, print, and I can just do hello, and then save that. Oh yeah, I've got to save it as a scene, and then if I just play the scene, it's gonna say hello down there. Like, it's super easy. Now, I'm not saying that other game engines aren't as easy as this, because, like, of course they are, but when it comes to scripting, especially, like, with Unity, because, that's a game engine that I've actually made games with in the past. With Unity, I never liked Visual Studio because, one, it took so long to boot up, and yes, I know you could just use Visual Studio Code, and I've tried Visual Studio Code, but almost every single time with Visual Studio Code, it never synced up. Like, it never was fully compatible with what I was doing. So when I was, like, typing in some code, the autocomplete was doing something completely different from what it was meant to be doing for Unity and for the scripts that I was coding in. And so the best thing that I had for Unity was this add-on or plugin called Script Inspector 3. I think it was, yeah, that's what it was called at the time, and I think it's still called that. So yeah, Script Inspector 3, where it's embedded into the engine itself, and it's not reliant on Visual Studio, any of that. And plus the autocomplete is just decently reliable. I can't remember how reliable it was, like if it was amazingly reliable or I can't remember, but I know for a fact that it was very, very, very decent at it, and it saved a lot of time for me, so I'm very, very, very glad that I used it. And yeah, now with the Godot Game Engine script editor, it's like very, very easy to use. Like you can even like do like get tree and like, I mean, obviously if you know what you're typing in, you know what you're looking for, then you don't necessarily need to rely on the autocomplete. But I love autocomplete because it makes me feel like I'm doing something correct. If autocomplete is not popping up, then either it's because the engine is struggling to get something very, very specific from what I'm trying to do, or it's trying to access something that doesn't exist. So like, for example, if I type in save and load, yeah, nothing's going to pop up because that does not exist currently. But if I do func save and load, and then I type it back in again, it comes up. Like, it's just, it is so great how we have a code editor that is very, very fluid and flexible with like what we're trying to do, and it's just like, it's just great in my opinion. Another reason why I love Godot so much is the tweening, and let's just put in a sprite 2D. And oh yeah, nothing's gonna pop up. Let's just put a icon in there because why not, and put that right there. And now let's go into the script and let's just go into the ready because why not, and let's just do var tween is equal to create tween, and then tween dot tween property. Of course, like if you don't know to do this, then you are going to like struggle. But once you know how to do this, it's just so great. Let's go ahead and do sprite, because like if you put a $sign in front, then it's sort of accessing that object or node in the higher in the scene tree. And let's do modulate, because this is actually my favorite one, modulate. And then do color dot transparent, and then do 5. And now let's go ahead and show the scene. Just like that. It's just absolutely amazing. And now another reason why I love Godot is the animation player. Like the animation player is, I would say, like very, well, I don't know about very powerful, but it's like quite powerful. So let's go ahead and do, let's just you know, first of all, let's just do like a random function here, and let's just call it random function actually. And now let's go ahead and create an animation player and create a new animation, call it rando, because why not. And in this animation, we're going to call a, well, first of all, we're going to call a property track. So let's get the sprite 2D. And I mean, you can do it from here, but you can also just go onto the sprite 2D and just find a property. Let's do scale, like why not? And let's go over to 1 and make that about there, and then do another one. So there we go, like easy like that. And now let's go ahead and do a call method track, and then go over to Node2D. Now we have the Node2D functions. Let's go ahead and right click, insert key, and Why is there still a save and load? Oh, right, because I haven't actually, right, okay. I forgot that I put the save and load into the, whoops, okay. Let's just take that out and save that. And now, let's retry that. There we go, random function. So, put that in there. And obviously nothing's going to happen because there's nothing even in the random function. But if I go into the random function and I bring the sprite 2D into here, I'm just going to do visible is equal to false. And even though in the animation player, I did not even set the visibility like to absolutely anything, but if we go ahead and actually play the animation now, oh wait, actually I got to autoplay on load, because if you don't do that, then the animation will not play unless you physically manually set it in the code editor. So let's go ahead and do autoplay on load, save that, and now let's just play this. So there we go, and now it disappears. So the fact that you can literally just like animate pretty much anything and even call a function from the animation player is just absolutely amazing. And another instance that I use the animation player is when you can even insert an audio track, and you can even play the audio track, and when you're playing the animation you can hear the audio track, and you can change values in the animation whilst listening to the audio track as the audio track plays. Because I tried that with one of my recent games. It's called A Simple Succession, link in the description if you want to play that. And when the voice was playing the audio of the voice, because the text was sort of changing according to the voice, I did that all in the animation player. I used to do that in the code itself, in the script. I would do like an await function. So like I would do like await get tree create timer, say like 2 seconds timeout, and then change the text to the next part of the voice. I used to do that, but ever since finding out about the animation player and like the playing back the audio track, it's just made life so much easier, and that's like absolutely amazing. Another thing that is super useful is, another thing that I really like about this engine is signals. And what a signal is, it's kind of like an object is receiving like a piece of input from the player in a way, and the signal is sort of being called by the object to then send like, well, a signal to another object, like a script. You know, I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's go over to the animation player, and when the animation is finished, like when the random animation is finished, let's go ahead and send this signal to our 2D and connect it up. And now when the animation is finished, we're going to print animation finished. And yeah, when the animation is finished, it's just going to print that. So let's go ahead and do this. Just like that. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm going to show you another example. So let's just go ahead and do static body 2D collision shape, and oh wait, hang on, let's do rectangle. There we go. And let's make that bigger, in fact. There we go. And let's put it like over here, why not? And also let's put a sprite in there. Actually, no, not a sprite. Let's put a color rect in there, actually. I mean, not the best thing to do. Actually, maybe it's best to do a sprite and not a color rect. And now let's put this inside of there. Oh my, okay. Right, let's just make sure our collision shape is, you know, matching this. And now we have that. So actually, let's make that a bit smaller actually, because that was like gigantic. And now with the static body 2D, let's just do mouse enter, because you can literally just detect when the mouse entered it and also exited it as well. So let's do mouse entered, and also do mouse exited. And now let's just do print, because print is like the easiest way to tell what is happening. So print mouse entered, and then print mouse exited. So yeah, mouse entered and mouse exited for both of those. So now let's go ahead and see what happens. So I'm going to enter the collision shape of the sprite, and it's going to say it, right? Apparently not. Okay, so the reason why it wasn't working is because in the static body 2D, there is this thing called input underneath collision objects 2D, and inside of input there's this thing called pickable, and you have to make sure that this is on in order for the static body 2D to actually detect mouse inputs. So let's go ahead and try this out now. So let's have a look. There we go, mouse entered and mouse exited. So like once again, it's literally just that easy to sort of set up that sort of signalization. And now another thing that I love about Godot is the autoload system. Now the autoload system is, let's go ahead and go over to the project up here and project settings, and there's this thing called globals. I mean, it's called globals, but it's also called autoload, because you've got autoload, shader, globals, groups. I don't really fuss about these two, but I fuss more about the autoload. And inside of the autoload, you can literally just add in a scene or a script, and once you add that in, you can access that scene or script from anywhere in your project, like anywhere in your scenes, and that is such a great thing. Although it's not ideal to use it a bunch, because you should only really use autoloads if you need to use them. Don't just use them like here, there, and everywhere, because chances are you will probably like cause unintended effects or unintended consequences in your project. So the ideal thing is to only use autoloads if you absolutely need them for like communications with like scripts, or trying to keep data persistent throughout the project. Those are the only times that I feel like you need to use autoloads. But yeah, other than that, autoloads are just absolutely amazing to use, and like within this engine, it feels like a breeze to use them, once you know how to use them, of course. Now, apart from all of the things that I love about the Godot Game Engine, I will admit that I've seen a lot of comments about the drawbacks that Godot has when it comes to graphical fidelity, because a lot of people that I have seen commenting about Godot is that the 3D capabilities are not up to par on like the levels of like Unity and Unreal Engine. And my response to that is, it's not really designed to be on the level as those. It's meant to be lightweight as possible, because that is the whole idea of the Godot Game Engine. It's not meant to be like Unity or Unreal Engine. It's lightweight for a reason, and to put so much graphical fidelity would be most likely making it less lightweight. And if it went in that direction, I don't think many people would be content with that decision. I mean, for one, I probably wouldn't be that content. I would probably go for something that would be lighter if they went in that direction. But see, it seems like they are improving the 3D side of Godot, but I don't think it ever gets to the level of Unity or Unreal Engine, especially Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine is a behemoth of an engine. So I don't think that this will ever go to that level, but once again, it doesn't need to, because what it's trying to do, I feel like it excels at what it's trying to do. Now, I will admit, when it comes to the learning curve of Godot, it does have a bit of a learning curve, especially when it comes to the coding, because the main reason why people do go to Unreal Engine is because of the blueprints, because it's visual scripting or visual programming, and Godot has GDScript, which is like, you know, text programming and not really visual. I mean, it's got like visualizations, as in, you know, like colors, because, oh my god, I would not use an engine if the coding was completely all white. I don't know how people dealt with that in the past. I mean, I commend them. I feel like they're legendary for being able to put up with that, but I would not be able to put up with that. I love the colorization of it, and it is visual, but it is still text coding, and I can understand why people would find it a bit of a learning curve. But once you have the right motivation and the willingness to learn it, you will be able to get with the programming of GDScript. Because I remember when I was like, I'm not touching this. And then when Unity had its fiasco, I was like, okay, yeah, I might as well learn this. And I have loved it ever since. So I just hope that whoever's watching has some type of motivation to at least try it out. Although talking about visual scripting, this does have a visual scripting alternative called Orchestrator. Though I personally wouldn't recommend it. Not saying it's unstable or it's bad or anything like that. I just don't use it myself, so I just can't personally recommend it. That's why I recommend GGScript, because I use it a lot. I mean, obviously I use it a lot. It's the only way for me to actually, you know, code in the engine. It's the only way for me to program in the engine. So yes, I use it, you know, a lot. But yeah, I mean, I only go for Orchestrator if you really, really, really do not like coding, like typing text. But even so, Orchestrator still has a little bit of typing, but I mean, yeah, it's still visual. So, I mean, it's completely up to you if you do want to try out Orchestrator. But yeah, once again, I just personally don't recommend it. And I think that about wraps up this video of me talking about Godot. I just wanted to make this video, regardless of if anybody asks for my opinion on this program, I just wanted to share my thoughts and feelings and my opinions towards Godot Engine, because maybe whoever is watching, I don't even know if anybody will be like watching this or even cares about this, but if anybody is watching this, they may be interested in trying it out because of the things that I've pointed out and highlighted and how easy it is. Now, I'm not saying this because, you know, the engine is super easy or it's super easy to make games with, because it's still really difficult to make games with. Like, nobody is denying that. But an engine like this does make things easier. And I'm very, very, very grateful that it actually exists. And the fact that it's getting frequent updates is just so appreciative, like, from the Godot team. I mean, even though the updates are pretty frequent, I do feel like sometimes they might need to slow down just a tad. but that's mostly a joke because like the frequency of updates is very, very frequent. But then again, it's mostly the dev releases that are frequent and not so much the full stable release, because I think the full stable release takes like a few months, so it's not that frequent. But it feels frequent. But then again, frequency of updates is a good thing until like an update turns into, you know, malware. Not saying that will ever happen to Godot. Hopefully it won't happen to Godot. But I have seen or I've heard updates to projects and how they've got a malware through those updates, and it's just made me even more wary about updating programs like games and stuff like that. What a world we live in right now. But yeah, anyway, I'm not sure who cares about my opinion on this program, but if you do care about my opinion, then I hope this was informative, and I hope that you've gotten something from this. And I also hope to make more Godot related videos in the future, like tutorials or, you know, just, you know, anything to do with Godot in the future. And I am thinking about making one tutorial video because I've found something that I find very, very interesting and pretty cool, and I want to share it with everybody. So I'm going to be showing that soon. But for now, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have all enjoyed, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace out, everybody.